Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 18th of October. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. Now, as ever, I'm going to give you the key strands for the week in a brief overview and then dive deep into each zodiac sign. So this week, the key features are that, yes, Jupiter and Mercury go direct on Monday. Jupiter is the planet of growth, of traditional astrology, of good fortune, and it's also the planet of expansion. So over the last 4 months, as it rewound from the sign of Pisces and back into the sign of Aquarius, we have found perhaps that some of our social aspirations have kind of been a case of 2 steps forwards and 1 step back. We can see in some parts of the world, for example, that COVID lockdown has been imposed in a much more stringent way, other areas a bit freer. But Mercury going direct in the sign of relating, Libra, is definitely something to appreciate. Also, the ruler of Libra, Venus, is in a fine link with Mercury and also Saturn this week. So those constructive relationships can really take a step forwards in a way which we're going to be pleased about. Also, Mars, the planet of passion, in the sign of Libra still, is forging an awesome angle to Jupiter for much of this week. So around a group situation or where we feel a sense of unity around a shared idea, again, a lot of thrust and speeding up. A contractual situation could also be resolved this week. But the Sun does square up to Pluto through the week. And Wednesday's full moon in the sign of Aries is kind of deep and passionate because of that square from Pluto to the moon and also the Sun. It's sort of pivoted in a T-square. And if there are deeper relationship problems around perhaps some leverage or coercion, or someone seems to always have to be in charge and not embracing the more equilibrium credentials of Libra, that could see some politics burst into the open, which may need to be resolved. And then on Saturday, the Sun returns for the first time in 11 months to the deep dive sign of Scorpio. Now, the whole progress of the planets through the sign of Libra has been very much the conversation. The movement of the Sun into the sign of Scorpio is to understand what that conversation was really about. So anything about shared resources, intimacy, sexuality, in terms of a more practical context, anything to do with investments, entrepreneurship, legacies, pensions, savings, all of these things can come under the astral microscope over the next 4 weeks. Now, please stay with me for your deep dive on each of the zodiac signs. But if you are new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you'd subscribe. Also, if you'd like to get your free daily horoscope fired to your device each morning, I've been writing them for over 25 years. My work features around the world on some of the biggest platforms out there, so you can subscribe for free below. Or with year 2022 racing up quickly, grab your 2022 personal forecast. And if you order now, you'll get the rest of this year 3, plus a character analysis and 30% off. Please see the link beneath this video and gain searing insights for your prospects ahead. Hello Pisces, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for week commencing the 18th of October. The great news is that the Sun on Saturday, towards the end of this week, will move into your sister water sign of Scorpio. This is a great opportunity for you to emerge from a very deep and rather introspective part of the year. This is because there's a cluster of energy this week still in your 8th house, which is rather subterranean, very scorpionic, ironically, and could have seen you thinking very deeply about some major themes in your world. Now, Mercury, of course, has been in retrograde in that area since the 27th. In a more prosaic way, the 8th house can be about finance, business, pensions, waiting for some kind of payout, or perhaps money or legacies to come through to you may have been a frustrating process. But Mars in that area can also give you an instinct to connect with someone in quite a passionate and even sensual way. And Jupiter, your ruler, which also goes forwards on Monday, is linking fabulously well with Mars. But Jupiter is in your 12th house along with the rather restrictive energies of Saturn, and that hasn't been easy, that retrograde. So Jupiter going forwards, linking to Mars, suggests that you can get more in touch with your instincts around any close connection, but particularly of a more sensual variety. Or if you're thinking about something in a more business or entrepreneurial way, yes, you can get greater motivation, but you'll still be keeping your cards quite close to your chest as you find out and delve that little bit more to get some extra information to guide your moves. But Venus, the planet of love and affection, which is also about money, does retain a very visible location in your 10th house. And that's linking brilliantly to Mercury in the 8th, but also to Saturn in the 12th. So all this to me suggests that there's going to be some important dialogue this week about your long-term financial situation, but also potentially around a deep relationship. But once the Sun emerges on Saturday into the 9th house, there can be a sense of things clearing for you. The full moon, which occurs on Wednesday, is about, in a very practical way, balancing the books. There could be some unexpected expenses that come up, or it's possible that you can become much more conscious if there's any politics, possessiveness, leverage, jealousy around an association, whether it's a friendship or something that's much more intimate. But of course, full moons are very complex, and having Pluto in the mix even more so. And Mars in the 8th house can still see you being drawn to anything which gives you a charge that you can go through some kind of transformation through. So you may even have at the moment some kind of connection to someone that you know may not be a long-term player in your world, but you're finding it rather irresistible, or them rather irresistible. But do think about where you might feel trapped, or where you may feel that you're giving away your power a little bit. And once the Sun moves, as the week draws to a close, it is a great time to think about all concepts of liberation, of freedom, of independence. And if something isn't working for you, to try to find the ways to maneuver a greater sense of personal control.